welcome to the pans, this, that and the other. I don't go looking for videos. Videos find me. And today's videos is all about the Mini Cooper. And I've got two toys here. I've actually just discovered that they are manual transmission. Woohoo! So anyway, I came across this great video and it was by Cpt Fink and it's a documentary on the Minis. It's about 57 minutes long. I will put this on the description channel, the description page rather, for you to view at. And if you do view it, do give them a like because it's absolutely brilliant. I watched it a couple of days ago and I did smile and I did laugh so much because there is such a connection. Because my family used to race Minis, Mini Cooper S's. And I've got so many funny stories about it. But before I go on to my family, the famous Mini that won the 1964 Monte Carlo, first Mini that did it, was number 37. And if you live in England or you're visiting England, you can go and visit it at, I believe, the British Motor Museum at Graydon, Warwickshire. And she's there. So, let me get into some stories. One of the funny things on this documentary was they created a car for families and for shopping, but on weekends you could go and race them. And average people got one. That wasn't the case with my family. Not long after I was born, my mother borrowed my grandfather's Mini Cooper S to take my grandmother to a place called Kingston upon Thames. If you in England, you know where that is. Again, to do a bit of shopping. In those days, the parking attendants would just ask you for your license plate number. So they got there and my mother spieled off whatever it was, BUC, whatever it was, to which the parking attendant said, "That's not what's on the plate." To which my grandmother and mother were like, "What?" And later on, obviously things got sorted, but later on, Grandpa got busted. Because Grandpa didn't have one Mini Cooper S, he had two. Identical. The lights and everything. And he put one in the shop to get it all souped up for a motor race. While he drove the other and then he swapped them around. So we've got some great photos coming up for you, which we hope you enjoy, of some of the rally driving scenes of him in the Cooper S's. So with these photographs that we're putting out, we're not really sure if it's the 1965 International Welsh Rally or an International Welsh Rally. There's a bit of confusion there on the numbers on the Minis. One is 111 and one is 74. If anybody out there who's got some relative that was involved with this that could let me know about this and clear this out, I'd be very, very grateful. But I can tell you that one of them, what was it, 111 or was it number 74? Really got bloody dinged up at some stage. And the interesting thing about these cars was, you know, you got really in a problem. You got 6 men, you could roll them on the side and fix them from underneath. They were very versatile little cars. photographs we've got is my mother at Brands Hatch. As I said, my family raced cars. My mother and my grandfather predominantly Mini Cooper S's, though Grandpa did saloon Jags. And I think my father did Cortinas, something like that. I don't know, Hillmans, whatever. I know he drove off a cliff at one stage. Well, a big hill. Anyway, but this is Mother at Brands Hatch, and I was a little girl, and a friend of hers who was taking care of me actually got really, really worried at one stage because I'm a toddler. I've got this little bundled up in this little red jacket, and she's screaming, "She's got a baby! My God, she's gonna kill herself and leave this kid behind." Well, Mother never did. And actually, my mother was probably the best person to teach me how to drive. She was brilliant. So another interesting story is that my mother would never let me drive a Mini, let alone buy me a Mini, because she had so many accidents in Minis. And I wouldn't say it was from rally driving them. I think it was just driving them in general. One of the worst ones she had was on Park Lane. I wasn't with her, thank God, but she did have our Basset hound, Fred the Basset, with her. Fred, by the way, was called Fred before the cartoon came out. And what happened on Park Lane was faulty traffic lights. They all went, ugh, and unfortunately somebody ploughed into her front end. Now in those days there wasn't really a firewall on vehicles that we got today, so basically the front engine came right through and messed up her legs very, very badly. The ambulance came. Obviously my mother's in great agony and bleeding a lot, but they refused to take the dog, which they probably will still do today because it's a health and safety hazard. And my mother said, "I am not leaving my vehicle going to hospital without the dog." So there was a bit of discussion on that, and then the ambulance man said, "Okay, he can ride up in the cab with us," which happened. So my mother went into hospital. I don't know what they did. I know what happened with the leg. And was discharged in a wheelchair, massively bandaged and everything. But there to greet her as she came out of the wheelchair were the two ambulance men with Fred the Basset. And he had a big band-aid across his nose. And so I posted a photograph of Fred. And I was talking to a friend actually this afternoon, a couple of hours ago, and you know, he was a bloody good looking Basset hound. So yeah, and I do the same bloody thing. So to end this YouTube channel is, I don't know what pisses me off the most. I don't know if it's getting behind somebody in a Prius. You just don't want to be in a car with me. Or worse still, getting behind a woman in a Mini Cooper S, especially a Mini Cooper. I'm sorry, let me say that. A Mini Cooper or a Mini Cooper S and a woman. And they're just putzing along. Now, I understand, and I've checked them out. Every time I go to parking lot, and I get beside one, I always have to look inside. It's pretty much automatic. That's cheating. I think that's really cheating. But they really, when I get behind a driver in a Mini, it's like, and then, and you don't want to know the language. And then, in fact, in the end, I just floor it and speed past them, which I know my mother would go, good for you. Would I get a Mini Cooper? I wasn't allowed to drive one, and I've thought about it. I thought about going into the used car dealerships and just pissing them off and taking one out for a test drive. but again, they're automatics, and that's cheating. Actually, I want a 5-speed, 6-speed, and I frightened the shit out of the guy or woman in the car with me. I love all the paintwork they've got on them. I love the British Racing Green with the Union Jack roofs on them and the mirrors, but in all honesty, they're not very practical for me. If somebody gave me a huge windfall, yeah, maybe I might, just for shits and giggles. But they were fun cars back then. And again, I hope you enjoyed that video, especially the rally driving, because, yeah, it put a big smile on my face. And I'm going to finish off with saying I hope you like, ring the bell, subscribe, and do share. And any questions, again, leave them in the comment box, and we will get back to you. And if you've got any more info you would like to know about Mini Coopers, because there's a lot more up here, I'm happy to do another video. Thank you. Bye.